Today, we're going to make a simple heart, okay? There's nothing complicated about this. Actually, fun, one of the quickest balloon things you can make. So blow it up, and you want to leave a little bit of a tail, depending on how big you want your heart to be. You can make it smaller, and something we haven't mentioned in our other videos, with some of the, this is the lip of it. A lot of times it's good to snip those off. And I don't have any scissors with me, but a lot of times you'd cut off the remainder. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Here we go. Okay, so we blew it up, and I left a tail about that long right there. If I hold up my fingers, you can see, what is that, two and a half fingers maybe. And so I'm gonna let a little bit of air out because I need enough of the lip here to tie it, okay? And you always wanna be careful. Sometimes you'll get a little bubble caught in there, and we all have pet peeves. It's one of mine. It's like, there shouldn't be a bubble there. And so, but we've got enough to tie it here. We did it good. And so now we're just gonna tie it. We're gonna take the two ends together. Okay, we're gonna tie them because we don't need this leftover. A lot of times when you twist, that's where your air go. Well, guess what? We're making a heart. We're not twisting. Yeah, it's one of the few balloon things you make where you don't twist. Now look, I tied those two ends together. I'm just pulling them tight, okay? So you've got that right there, all right? Now, do you see why when you're done, you might wanna clean this up, cut that off, okay? We pull it a little tight. So we have a balloon like this right here, okay? Now you see where the heart's gonna come from. I need to grab in the middle, right up here, and what I do is I grab and I pinch. I pinch, and usually I give a little twist, and then I pull that down into the shape of a heart, and I'm gonna lift this up here so where y'all can see a little bit, because this is kind of like milking a cow. See, I'm gonna take that heart, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back and forth with my hands, and I got my microphone right there. Y'all might get some weird sounds coming through. So here we go. It's like milking a cow, Give, Betsy, give. The kids have gotta live. And so I'm just going back and forth. And what I'm doing right now is I'm shaping that air. Okay, by going back and forth, I'm training the balloon to keep its shape, okay? And so then I let go, and look at that. Look at the top of my heart. Okay, now a little pointy right there, but that's all right. All right, and bring it back a little bit. Could pull that down, reshape it. I'm gonna get it a little lower. I wanna give it a little bit better shape right there. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we're looking good. All right, good. Now we got this nice little heart right here. Okay, I'm done. There's a heart, but what I like doing, I like adding a little extra to it. And so I'm gonna add, I'm gonna add Squeaky. Squeaky, if you watched our video on small dogs, you've met Squeaky. And so here we are, we're gonna attach Squeaky. Now I'm gonna take his front legs right here and see where that area where the two meet. I'm just gonna twist him in, okay? Let me get my hands out of the way. See, I'm twisting his neck and his body around, see? So I went around once, went around twice. Hey, he's like on a carnival ride here. 3 times. All right, now I'm gonna straighten him up, okay? And so, because right now, he's got an anatomy problem going on with his backside right there. So I'm gonna straighten him up. I want him to look kind of like he's jumping, okay? And so here we go, here's Squeaky. Okay, let me get a good view so you can see his front right there, and then his back. See, he is jumping through that heart right there. All right, jumping through the heart. Now, if you make a heart, of course, we make balloons to teach spiritual truth. What you can do is you can make a heart, and you can talk about all sorts of things you can talk about. What's in your heart? Is there sin in your heart? Are you doing things you know are wrong? Is there disobedience in your heart? Is there partial disobedience? That's something we don't talk about a lot. You know what partial disobedience is? It's where I am going to obey so far, but you don't go as far as what complete obedience would be. And it's something we don't talk about with kids a lot, but it's important that our kids have instant obedience, that our kids listen and obey. You can also talk about what it means to give your heart to Jesus. Now, this is something that's very confusing to kids. There was a kid at a church where I was, and so this kid, I'm going to set the balloon aside for a second. This kid, he told his teacher, he said, I don't want Jesus in my heart. He was like 5 years old. I don't want Jesus in my heart. And the teacher had told him how she asked Jesus in her heart. And he's like, I don't want that. And so she came to me and she was really upset, and I forget his name. She was like, Johnny doesn't want Jesus in his heart. And so I went to the class. I said, I'd like to talk to him. And I got down on my knees, and here came Johnny. I said, hey, Johnny, give me 5. And I said, Johnny, your teacher said that you don't want Jesus in your heart. And he said, no. I said, now, would you mind telling me why? Because I thought I knew, and I was right. This is what he said. His eyes got real big, and he said, I said, you don't want Jesus in your heart? And he said, no. I said, why? He said, because he is a big man and I'm a little boy. It was like, big man, little boy. He's like, he comes in my heart and we're going to have a mess in the room. I don't want Jesus in my heart. See, it wasn't that he didn't want Jesus in his life. It was the teacher was speaking a language he didn't understand, a vocabulary that was not quite there yet. When we talk about Jesus coming into your heart, we are not talking about Jesus coming into your blood pumping vessel. It's not like Jesus stands there watching your blood go by. We're talking about letting Jesus into your life to be your Lord, your Savior. So a lot of times when I talk to children, I use the most literal terms possible. So I'll talk about giving your life to Jesus. I mean, that's hard to misunderstand that. And so when you use terms, even like saved, you know, I said at a camp, I said, I'm going to tell you tonight about how I got saved. And 3 kids came up to me right afterwards, and 2 said, did you fall in a swimming pool and someone pull you out? And the third said, did you fall in a river and someone pull you out? See, they were trying to process what saved means. So sometimes we need to define what we're talking about. Saved, the word sin, asking Jesus into our heart. And so making a balloon heart is a great way to address some of those things and to really help there be a very clear understanding. So make a heart, and you know the great thing, when you make a heart, you can give your heart away. My name is Colby King with 330 Ministries. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you here, there, in the air. God bless you. Keep following Jesus.